Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Maggie, and I'm the Director of Client Relations and Growth here at ThunderTix. Today, we're going to be talking about how to build a package in ThunderTix. A season package is a ticket offering where a customer buys access to multiple events in a series, usually at discounted rates, rather than purchasing each ticket individually. Selling season packages or subscriptions is one of the most powerful strategies for performing arts organizations, not just for revenue, but for long-term stability and audience growth. You have predictable upfront revenue, stronger audience loyalty, increased attendance across all shows, and higher customer lifetime value. So it's a really important feature to use if you're looking for those things, and I'm excited to show you exactly how it works. Let's get started. So before we build out any of our packages, the first step to building out any package is to create the events that are going to go into your package. So to do that, you're going to go into Events and your Event Manager, which will bring you to this page. All you have to do is click Create Event. I know most people have already gone through this process, so I'm not going to show it today in this video. But if you ever needed some help with that, feel free to reach out to us. Now, once you have all of your events created for your package, you're going to click down into Events again and go into your Package Manager. Now let's create your first package. So we can go ahead and click on this green Create Package button. So to create our first package, we're again going to go into the Package Manager and click that green Create Package button. You want to fill out the baseline details similar to building an event, your name, description, and a photo. That's going to show up on your public facing site. Now we have selection method. Now this is what I talked about, the two types of packages that we have. We have a pick any package in which, let's say you have 12 events, you can allow your patrons to pick 3 or 4 out of the 12 or 6 or 7 out of the 12. It's kind of more of a flexible package, but they can pick any combination of events in this package. And we have a pick all package. This is where patrons are going to be required to pick at least one performance from every event that you have in your package. So it kind of forces them, if you have a 5-show package, they're going to get one ticket from each of those 5 shows. So the first one I'm going to build here is a pick all package. So our next tab here, included events or ticket types. We are going to be able to click into and select any events that we want included in this package. Now, with your pick all package, you can also select very specific performance dates as well. I'm going to do the events and click into my 3 events that I want included. But if you wanted specific performances to only be included in your package, you could pick those specific performances as well. Then we have our ticket delivery tab. Again, like I talked about, we're going to be doing a subscription. What defines a subscription package is that when a patron purchases that package, they're going to receive those tickets right away. Versus a Flex Pass, they're going to receive codes in which they can redeem to purchase tickets at a later point. So today we're only going to cover subscription-based tickets. All of these tickets will be delivered immediately. Now, right below subscription, you're going to see that you can customize your confirmation email. So you don't have to do this. I'll show you an example of just kind of like a baseline confirmation email. But if you wanted any custom text here, you can add that. You can also add a sponsor image if someone was sponsoring the package. Now we have pricing. For our pick all package, you have 2 pricing options. You can, one, do a bundled discount. This means that your pricing is you're going to take every ticket that you have for every event in the package, and it's going to be discounted by a percentage or a dollar amount. If I do my package ticket, that is going to generate an actual package ticket that includes all of these events for a set rate. So for example, with my bundle discount, if I have for 3 of my shows, each of the shows have $10 tickets and I do 10% off, each of those tickets will be docked 10%, and that will be your package value that people will see at checkout. If you do a package ticket, what you're saying is all 3 of these events cost this set dollar amount. So for this first example, I'm going to do a package ticket. For the second, I'm going to do a bundle discount so you can see both options. So we're going to name this our season package ticket here. We'll make this $100. The thing that you want to consider when you're doing pricing for your packages is how you want your reporting to look. A big part of how the reporting will come out is determined by how you set up your pricing. And I'm going to show you those reports. I'm going to show you both options so you can kind of see what you're working with. Okay, so we have our package ticket. We have this additional options tab. You can pick a date that your package gets activated if you don't want it to be on sale right now, an expiration date. You can also set up a maximum amount of packages per order. So if you only want Jane Doe to be able to purchase 4 packages in one single order, you can set up those limitations. You can also accept donations with a package. This is very similar to the events function when you add a fundraising campaign or donations to an event. So we're going to add one of those so you can see what that looks like at checkout. You can also add a survey, again, similar to events, to the checkout process. You'll also see your public access types listed here. So you can have a public package that will be displayed on your website where people can go in and purchase it. Again, anyone publicly can go purchase that package. We have semi-private where you could have a select group of people get sent a link where they can purchase the package, but it's not publicly available. And then you have your private package where only venue admins in ThunderTix can make those purchases. And lastly, we have shipping and fees. So you really have 2 options for your fees. The first is that I can apply fees from my included events. For example, on the events that I attached, I have the ThunderTix ticketing fee of $1.25 on each of those events. So if I click this, that means that for every ticket in my package, they're going to see a $1.25 fee for each ticket. However, I can also add a, package fee. So you can add whatever fee you want here. You can do the fee per package or per order. It's really up to you. Keep in mind, ThunderTix charges per ticket. So that's a consideration if some of you pass on your fees to, consider that. We're going to go ahead and apply fees from the included events so you can see what that looks like. And then your shipping options if you wanted to add those. So we're going to go ahead and click finish here. Okay, our package was successfully created. Now I want to show you what this looks like. One, selling from the venue admin side of your, choose all package, and then selling from the public facing view. So if we go in and click sell, we're going to do the admin side. If I want to sell one of these packages, when you click in, you're going to see I have my 3 events listed here and all of the performance dates. With this package, I'm going to be forced to choose 3 performances here, 1 from each event. That's the point of the choose all package is I'm forcing my patrons to choose 1 performance from all of the events I have in my package. It won't let you click continue if you don't have the number of events that you need to fulfill that setting. So we'll click continue here. Now, if I have a seating chart on my package, keep in mind you can do packages that only have the same seating charts, all reserved seating. You could do general admission packages, or you could do a mixed package that has a mix of general admission events and reserved seating events. If I have more than 1 reserved seating event in my package, when I go to select a seat and I click continue, you're going to see this pop-up show up that is going to ask you and your patrons if they would like the same seats in all of the events that they've selected. That will automatically assign them the same seats for any of the reserved seating events. If you have 12 events, they'll have the same seat for all 12 events. If by chance one of those seats is not available or has already been purchased, it will guide them to that specific event so they can select their seats for that specific event and it'll allow them to continue. So we'll select yes here. We want all the same seats. All right, so now we're in the checkout screen. I have my season package ticket, so I'm going to say how many tickets I want. I only selected 1 seat, so I have 1 ticket. I have my survey here that we attached, and I have my fundraising campaign that we attached. We can click continue. Take a little time. Okay. So now we're at checkout. You can see I have my season package ticket, and then I have all of the shows included that I added. You'll also see that I have my ticketing fees for each of these events listed here. So it's going to charge that ticketing fee automatically when you pull them over from the other events. So that's what this looks like from the venue admin view. Let's go ahead and go to our public facing view so we can see what that looks like on this end. So we're going to go into our event packages, and you'll see I have my season package with all my included events listed here. Again, it's going to bring people through the same process. I'm going to be forced to choose a performance from each of these events and click continue. Keep in mind, if you only have one performance per event, it's not going to bring them through this because they'll be auto-selected, right? It's a choose all package. They would just go into the checkout screen here, and those events would already be selected. So we'll go ahead and select our seats. Again, you're going to see that pop up. Would you like the same seats available? They can select their ticket, fill out the information here if necessary. Oh, and then we're at checkout where again, you can see all of the tickets that are purchased along with their season package ticket. So that's how that works. That's our choose all package. So let's get out of this. Now, let's say we wanted there to be some more flexibility. Let's say we had 12 shows and I want to give my patrons the option to be able to choose, a number of shows from this 12, but not force them to see all 12. So what I can do if I go back into my package manager and again, click that green create package button, it'll bring me here, fill out the basic event information. Now under selection method, I'm going to choose pick any. And this is going to pull up this little box here. You can create kind of boundaries or restrictions around the minimum and maximum amount of events that somebody should select. So I'm going to go ahead and do a minimum here. I want people to at least have 2 events in this package. Oftentimes it's a lot more, but for the sake of time, we'll do that. Then again, I'm going to go into my included events and select my events here that are included in this package. I have my ticket delivery. I'm going to do subscription. I want people to immediately get those tickets upon purchase, and I'm going to customize my confirmation email. Now, you'll see when you get to pricing, the only option available for a pick any package is the bundled discount. Because we give such a range of selections, if you had 12 packages, 12 events, and anyone could select from 3 to 6 events out of there, the package ticket wouldn't really work well for that. So you can only do a bundle discount on any sort of pick any package. So we're going to go ahead and do 10%. We'll go into our additional options. Again, we reviewed some of this. It's all the same. We'll add our fundraising campaign. We'll add our survey. And then shipping and fees, we'll go ahead and do a package fee. And we'll do it for $10 and we'll apply it per package. Let's go ahead and click finish here. Okay, so now when I go in to sell this style of package, you'll see here that the limitations are going to be stated on the screen, right? I need to choose at least 2 performances. If I set a maximum, it would be I need to pick at least 2 performances and a maximum amount I can pick is 12, And then you'll see we can go in, same process of selecting those performance dates. You can also skip over events, right? Let's say I want to skip this one, but I know I have to choose 2, so I'm going to choose those other 2. If you have a whole line of 12 events, it's going to allow people to skip through and pick the ones that they want to select. These are also clickable. If you ever wanted to go back, you can click into the actual event poster. But because I have the 2, I've met the minimum criteria. I can go ahead and click continue here. Same concept. We're going to select our seats. So here it's going to allow you to select the ticket types. Now, keep in mind, I totally forgot to mention this, but with package tickets, you could create an adult, a child, and a senior package ticket. But when it comes to the bundled discounts, your ticket types are going to carry over from your individual events. So for all of these events, I had an adult, senior, and child ticket. That 10% bundled discount is going to apply to the ticket type that I select. So if I select senior, you can see I had a $5 senior ticket that got discounted to 450. So it's going to force you to go in and select whatever ticket types you want for that patron. We'll click continue here. And again, you can see I have my season bundle, I have my 2 tickets, and you can see the discounted rate here. You can also see your package fee listed right here. I only purchased 1 package, so it's going to charge me a $10 fee. Keep in mind, some people will ask about this. This remove fees box where you can select this to remove fees is only visible from the venue admin view. It's never visible on the public facing view. They cannot waive their own fees. Okay, so that's what that looks like from the venue admin. Again, we'll just do a really quick run through of the public facing view. Again, if I go back to my event packages, you can see when you have 2 packages or more, they'll show up similar to how your events index page shows up. And we have this one. So again, oops, that's the wrong one. So you'll see it says, please choose at least 2 performances. It's going to guide them. You have to pick X amount. We'll skip the first one. We can choose that one or choose that one. Again, I can go in and click through the other ones if I wanted to change my selection. I can pick my theater seats here. Again, you're going to select that ticket type and anything else. You have the survey on there. And it's going to show you the tickets that you have in your bundle and at the discounted rate. You'll also see your package fee populate on the checkout screen here. Okay, so those are the 2 types of packages that you can build. Again, keep in mind, we'll be reviewing Flex Passes. That's a really popular package type, but we're just not going to review it today. Now, once someone purchases a package from you, they're going to receive a confirmation email. So keep in mind, you can customize that confirmation email if you go back to events and your package manager here. Leave this. To edit any package that you have already created, you're going to go to select and edit here. In this menu, you'll see a few other things as well. You can replicate this package. If you have the same season package or the same series that goes on multiple times a year, this is a really quick way to replicate the tickets, the type of package, everything like that. You'll just have to reselect the events. You can get your package link. If you wanted to link this package on your website or embed it into your website, you can click here and it's going to bring you into our link builder. You can see the history of who done it, who edited the package, who made changes to it. And then I'm going to talk in just a little bit about our mass mail system and how that connects to packages. But yeah, if I wanted to edit, again, my confirmation email, I can just click into edit and then I can go down to ticket delivery and it'll be right here. Now, I did want to show you quickly what this confirmation email looks like. Can you see my Gmail, Chris?
Yes.
I just want to check. Okay. Okay, awesome. Okay, so whenever someone orders a package, they're going to get a confirmation email like this. If you ever wanted to edit the color of this bar here and don't know how, this is in your baseline template. So if you go to templates here and confirmation email, you can edit that color of the bar. That's like our default color. So I always like to point that out to people. But yeah, you can see here's my confirmation email. You'll see here's the additional text that I put into the email. I can see all of my tickets here. I can click to view my tickets. This is going to be the PDF of the tickets that sometimes people like to print or have. But I can also scroll down here and you'll see I have all of the tickets that I can add to my Google and Apple Wallet. Even if this is a 12 show series, all 12 of those tickets will show up here. So it's a really, really good thing to remember, these tickets are going to show up here. If anyone, because it may happen sometimes that someone purchases a package and then they lose the confirmation email, they lose all their tickets or anything like that, you can always resend confirmation emails in the order view. I'll show you just real quick so you can see this. But you'll see if you click into any order here in that email functions box, you'll see it says resend confirmation email. So it's really easy to get that email back out to your customer if they ever needed a refresher or anything like that. Okay, so now that we've reviewed these two kind of baseline packages, I did want to talk about reporting a little bit. So there's a few different ways that you can visualize your package information that I wanted to review. So let's go ahead and go back into our package manager here. Now, anytime you want to review your certain package reports, you're going to go into your package manager and you'll see on the far right-hand side, we have that reports drop down. Oops, that you can click down into. This is where you're going to be able to see all of the orders for your package. Obviously, this one doesn't have any, but these will all be listed here in case you ever needed to look at that. It's going to list how many orders you have, and you can also export. If you have orders here, you'll see an export button populate at this top right corner of the screen. So you could export all of your orders, who ordered them, how many package tickets they ordered, etc. So just keep that in mind if you ever did need to visualize those orders or look somebody up, you could always do it through this button right here, again, under that reports dropdown. We also have a package tickets report. Now, the package tickets report is going to pretty much give you a detailed rundown of every single ticket that was included in every single package purchased. So if you wanted a total count of how many actual tickets were purchased from your package sale, you could do it this way. This is especially helpful when you have a pick any package where it's not like every single person that ordered a package has the same amount of events. You know, there might be a range. So you're going to see in each row that there's a separate ticket, what order that's associated with, and what show it's for. So it's a really good report to pull if you did want to look into those details. Now, beyond the reports we have right here, a recent update that ThunderTix made is we now include all package tickets and bundled discount tickets from any package sales in the settlement reports for individual events. So I did want to show you an example of this so you can kind of see what this will look like in an isolated manner here. Can you see my report here, Chris? I just want to make sure. Okay. Okay, so whenever you have a bundled discount, again, keep in mind that's always going to be the pricing option for your pick any package. It's optional. It's one of the options for your choose all package. When you pull an event settlement report, we really wanted to display the revenue associated with those package tickets in your events. So you'll see the most recent build that we have is under this item, category. You're going to have your total tickets. You have your total individual tickets. Individual tickets represent any tickets that were bought solo, individual events, no packages, no memberships, anything like that. And then under that, you're going to have a section that has total package tickets. I really wanted to show you an isolated example, but keep in mind under total individual tickets, for example, if you had adult, child, and senior tickets, all of those would be listed here with the quantity of how many were purchased there. Under total package tickets, you're going to see any package tickets populate here. I have my adult season package. I had one purchase, and you can see the revenue collected was $9 because it was originally a $10 ticket and it was discounted by 10%. So that's how you're going to see this represented in the settlement report. It's nothing too crazy. Now, where it gets slightly more complicated is when it comes to our package tickets. Keep in mind for a package ticket, for example, I had my 3 shows and I bundled them together and I said, this cost $100. If you want all 3 shows together, this is going to be a $100 ticket. So what we decided to do is take that $100 and divide it by the number of events that you have in your package. And that number divided by the number of events is going to populate as your revenue on the settlement reports. So again, you're going to see your total package tickets. You're going to see any package tickets that you have associated with the event. And then under revenue, you're going to see that even split. So that's how we're representing the revenue for a package on your settlement report. Keep in mind, another thing that we have recently built, and I want to share this with everyone because it's such an awesome build. And if anyone wants access to it or has any interest in doing some beta testing for us, we recently built an MCP, which pretty much allows you to connect your ThunderTix data to an AI platform. Currently, we're using Claude for a lot of our testing, but I'm sure all of you know about some other AI platforms like ChatGPT and Gemini. It should be available on most of those as well. But pretty much by connecting your ThunderTix data to these AI platforms, we are able to query any sort of data for you. So you could ask, your AI platform that's attached to your ThunderTix data, how many package sales did I have in 2025? What was my most popular event within those package sales? What was, create a board ready visual of my package ticket sales. There's so many things you can do with this new feature. Again, it's in beta testing, so if any of you are interested in that and want kind of some more specific data or have any specific queries that these reports aren't quite giving you, please let us know. You can send me a message after this and I will happily add you to some of our beta testing there. But yeah, after that long spiel, this is our package ticket report when it comes to the settlement. So those are the reports you're going to look at. You will see packages show up in some other reports, but these are kind of the baseline ones that I see most people ask questions about. Okay, so now that we've reviewed, how to build these packages, what it looks like during the purchase process, some of the reports, I really want to go into some of the marketing options that you have for packages. The biggest one being in our patron database. So if we go over to patron database and our CRM and mass mail, I like to show the options that you have to really be able to pull from your patron information, pull lists of people that are going to be your most qualified buyers for your season packages. The best way to do that is in this event slash package tab. If I click into this, you'll see I have these options to query data based on patrons who have either purchased or have not yet purchased any events or packages. So, for example, if I had a 2025 package that sold really well and I want to start advertising a 2026 package or series, I can type in and search for anyone who has purchased X package. So again, you can type in any number of things. All of your packages and events are going to show up here that you can search for. Let's actually do a package. And then I can type in for my, newest package. You wouldn't necessarily have to do this, but have not yet purchased, you can query any data there as well. So if you are mid-season or mid-package sales and you want to see who hasn't yet purchased your package, that purchased the 2030 package, the 2030 package, it's a little in advance, but you can query that data to target those specific people. These were season subscribers last year, but they're not yet season subscribers this year. What type of email can I generate to try to get these guys signed up? So I do like to point that out. Again, we have lots of other kind of criteria. If you haven't explored our CRM yet, I highly recommend it. It's such a good way to pull any sort of information. You can search for, maybe I'm looking for people who have at least 5 orders. If they've purchased with us 5 times, maybe they'd be willing to purchase a season package. If someone is a big donor or has donated at least a minimum of $100, maybe they're my most likely buyers to purchase a season package. They really support us. So again, I'm not going to go through every single search criteria, but I highly recommend you look through this just to be able to query that data that's so valuable to target your specific group of people that would purchase these packages. Now, as some of you know, ThunderTix does have its own mass mail system. So once you query that data on your packages, you can directly send mass mail out through the ThunderTix system Keep in mind, we also integrate with MailChimp and Constant Contact, so you could also do it that way. I do have two exciting updates about our mass mail system that I did want to tell you guys about. The first is that we have removed the setup fee for mass mail. It is now free to set up. It is going to be $10 a month, and that includes the first 4,000 emails you send every month. Beyond that, you are charged 0.002 cents per email, and we do round up to the 1 cent whenever we charge you. So, just so you know, I highly recommend you look into it. We are also, on top of that, building an HTML plugin to our mass mail system. So you could technically build an email in Canva or some other site that kind of could modernize some of your emails. And then eventually you'll be able to plug that into ThunderTix and send it out that way. So, some exciting updates there. I hope you consider it. I think it's really nice to have everything in one system. So, okay, so beyond our patron database, there are a few other ways you can contact people who have purchased your package with our mass mail system that I do like to point out. If you go back into events and your package manager and you click select and mass email here, you're going to be able to create a new email and you're going to be able to directly send it out to anyone who has purchased this specific package. It's another direct way to contact anyone who, has purchased past packages, to contact anyone current who, if you had a show cancellation or anything of that sort, you could always message them this way. Um, just so you know, that does exist. Okay. Now I'm trying to think if I have any other options here. Oh, yes. I have one more thing to share with you before I open it up for Q&A. So, under specific criteria, when you're creating a package, it has to be a choose all package, and you have to have the same exact ticket types as another package that is expired. You can draft this renewal email. Now, this is really nice when you have reserved seating because it's going to prompt people to accept or decline a renewal. And it also prompts them to accept or decline having the same seats as they had last year. It's a really great function. We're still building out parts of it because there are some restrictions right now. But when you do have the same exact tickets as a past package, and you have choose, sorry, I'm tripping over my words, a choose all package. This option will show up under the renewal column that says draft renewal email. So we have a renewal template that you'll see here, and you can see that it pulls the patron name who purchased the package that's expired, and it says we have a new package available. It shows them which seats they had from their last package, and they can click to renew that package. They can either reserve it or purchase it, depending on what your customer permissions are, or they can cancel the reservation. So they can say, I don't want this package anymore, I don't want these seats anymore, and it gets released. So it's a really nice option to contact people who, were in a past season. You can see here that you can select the prior package. So again, you have to fit these certain criteria, but any packages that fit that criteria will show up in this dropdown. Once you select it, it's again going to pull all of your patrons, all of their seats that they had purchased, etc. So really good way, again, to get renewals for your packages, if that's something that you want to do. Well, thank you so much, everyone. I'm so glad you were able to join today. Again, keep in mind we have our FlexPass webinar on the 21st. FlexPasses are so awesome, and we've built out so many new things for them. So I'm really excited to walk you guys through that. But yeah, feel free to email me directly or submit a support request if you have any questions regarding the webinar or anything else. Chris and I are here to help out and answer any questions. And I hope everyone has a fabulous day.